guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock. It's time for another video. And today I'm going to be talking to you about 3 acts that I think are the 3 of the greatest stage acts, magic stage acts that I have ever seen in my entire life. Now, I'm doing this video because somebody asked me on a Q&A, what's your favorite act that you've ever seen someone perform on stage? And I sat down and it kind of made me think, what would be my favorite stage act? And I've kind of made a list of all of them, and I wanted to actually present you with the top 3 and actually include videos so you can actually see these 3 performances, because all 3 of these particular acts made a really big impression on me when I saw them for the first time. And I just love watching them. I really do. I think there's so much we can learn as stage magicians from watching the 3 performances I'm about to present to you. Now, as with everything that I do on this channel, one of my goals is to try and spotlight magic that maybe newer people that have got into magic haven't seen before. And I think I might have done that with this, because these aren't the newest acts in the world. These are older acts, but they're absolutely fantastic. If you want me to do another video, if you'd like me to do another video on this subject, and you'd like me to talk about maybe 3 more stage acts that are awesome, or maybe do it with close-up acts or even kids acts, then please let me know in the comments down below. I am more than happy to do that for you. That's something that I can do, absolutely. But right now, we're going to talk about my top 3 stage acts of all time. And what I want you to do is let me know in the comments down below exactly what you think. And have you seen these acts? Would you agree with me? Would you disagree with me? Please let me know. And the first act that I want to talk about, you're about to see a performance in a second. It's called Balloon Cut, and it's by Scott Alexander and Puck. Scott and Puck. I will talk all about Scott and Puck and the act in a minute, but first of all, I'd like you to see a performance of it. So here we go. Make my day, 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 Tuesday, get your booty on the floor tonight, make my day, 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 make my day. So, there you go. I mean, that is an incredible act. Unfortunately, Scott Alexander passed away and is no longer with us. And I'm absolutely gutted about that. Anybody who has watched this channel for any length of time will know that Scott Alexander was one of my favorite performers of all time. Half of my act is made up of Scott Alexander material, and honestly I believe that him no longer being in this community is a massive loss to the industry as a whole. His creativity, his passion, his dedication was just second to none, and it's such a shame. But he had a double act with Puck. Scott and Puck, they released a number of products together, and they had a double act that they toured, and I wish I'd seen it live before Scott passed away. Unfortunately, that wasn't to be. But there's lots of clips of them performing online, and I've watched these clips over the years and laughed my ass off, because Scott and Puck are both very funny performers. Scott especially is hilarious, and was hilarious. And this, for me, is the perfect example of taking a trick and making it your own. So the illusion that they're using here, which is the sawing in half, where Puck cuts Scott Alexander in half, is actually called a T-cut illusion by I think by Adrian Soler. And it's a fantastic illusion, it really is. It's very practical. You'll find that a lot of entertainers, you'll find a lot of magicians or stage illusionists actually own one of these. I know that I do. It's a great prop for somebody first getting into illusions, because it doesn't take up much space. You can literally fit it into the boot of a car, and you don't need an assistant to do it. You could do it on yourself if you wanted to. So somebody who's wanting to put an illusion act together over time, this is a fantastic first illusion to get. And it's also very, very deceptive. Now, everybody that I've ever seen perform T-cut have done it exactly the same way, which is to music, cut them, show that they're divided in two, and then put them back together and take the round of applause. Because that's how a lot of illusions are done, right? And what I love about Scott and Puck is this is the perfect example of taking an illusion that a lot of people are doing and making it your own, and combining a couple of different effects into one effect and routining it in such an amazing way. And the T-cut illusion is the perfect example here. So, the balloon swallow has been around for a very, very long time, and the balloon swallow works. It's just a great effect. It really is. And for many years, I did the balloon swallow. For many, many years, I did the balloon swallow as part of my illusion show with my partner at the time, Russell Leeds. We were doing this thing called the Rings of Death, and I'd be in front doing the balloon swallow while he was getting strapped into the Rings of Death. And it always got a really great reaction. And I've seen many, many magicians open their act with the balloon swallow. It's one of those things that takes up no space but plays really big, right? What they've done here is they've taken the balloon swallow and they've taken it to an entire other level, because they use, you've just seen the video, so I don't need to narrate it for you, but the idea of taking the T-cut and giving it a purpose, because now the balloon has vanished, it's been eaten, so it now gives a reason for the T-cut. Well, you want to know where the balloon is? I'm going to have to cut Scott open. And then that's what happens. They cut Scott open, and then that moment where Puck pulls the balloon from Scott's torso and shows it, look at the reaction of the woman that's on stage, and look at how freaked out she is. That's the perfect example of just just killing that spectator. She just didn't have a clue what was going on. It was absolutely amazing. And they took a prop that most people, a lot of the time with stage illusions, and I do stage illusions, so I can talk about this from a position of having done it and still doing it. There's no justification a lot of the time. It's like, a girl's going to get in the box, we're going to make her disappear, we're going to cut her in half, now we're going to bring her back. Now we're going to put her in another box. Now she's going to be cut in half. Now we're going to put her back. Now we're going to make two people change places. And there's no justification. It's just done. A lot of the time, illusions, it's the spectacle, it's the music, it's everything. Well, what Scott and Puck have done here, and the reason I love this act so much, and the reason it's at third place, is because I wish more people would do what they've done. How can we take this illusion and justify it and make it bigger than it actually was. You know, make it more than the sum of its parts. And I remember speaking to Scott about this when I interviewed him on Magic TV while he was still alive. And he said that they'd actually enhanced it by using a signed balloon now. And they actually had a signed balloon, which is even better. You know, that somebody is going to sign a balloon, you're going to eat it, and then you're going to pull it out of Scott's stomach. It's just great. So yeah, this is the third greatest Magic performance of all time, in my opinion, on stage. I think it's got everything. I think it plays big. I think it's got the spectacle, but also, more importantly, it's got the creativity that you would expect from Scott and Puck of taking an illusion that everybody's doing, adding something that's really as old as the hills and combining it into something that feels fresh and feels new. So, what we're going to look at next? Well, the next video that I'm going to show you is from 2012, and it is from Britain's Got Talent. And you know what? Over the years, there have been some amazing acts on Britain's Got Talent, and a lot of the time, people forget how amazing the acts were. And this is an act that went on Britain's Got Talent in 2012, got through to the semi-finals, and this is their semi-final performance that you're going to see. It's a great performance. We're going to talk about it in a second, but first of all, watch this.
Hi, I'm Jonas.
And I'm Peter. We love watching films, so we brought a bag full of DVDs. Alicia, I want you to reach into the bag, close your eyes, and pick one at random.
Okay.
Which one did you choose?
Oh, you want me to say?
Yes.
Can I open my eyes?
Yes,
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter!
that's an excellent choice.
Our favorite colleague, indeed.
We will actually try to do something magical here today based on your choice. Peter, let's go.
Can I put it down now?
Well, it's not Harry, but it's a good start.
The Harry Potter theme, our favorite piece of music. But that's not enough. We actually made a prediction. Peter, come on. These screens have been standing here from the start. Let's push them together. This is our prediction. Alicia, you could have picked any film. Ladies and gentlemen, Harry Potter's glasses. But still, that's not enough. We're missing one final thing. Peter, are you ready?
Sure thing.
Watch this. Hi, Peter, and hi, Harry.
So who you just saw was Brinol and Young. I remember seeing them after this performance at FISM. I can't remember which FISM. It might have been 2012. I'm not too sure if it was on in 2012. But yeah, so I remember seeing them at FISM. I haven't seen them for a while, but they were everywhere at one point, and they had a great chemistry together as a double act. I'd like to know if they're still going, to be perfectly honest. But this act really made a big impression for me. I'd been doing illusions for a couple of years at this point, maybe a little bit longer. And when I watched the act, it just had everything. It really did. It was, in my mind, the perfect act for Britain's Got Talent. And it's a real shame that they didn't get through. Honestly, I think if they'd gone on the programme these days where magic is more appreciated, I think there's a chance that they probably would have gone through. But as it is, I loved the attempt at, and not just attempt, but the success at having somebody vanish from one place and appear somewhere else, and not have any boxes, not have any cover. You know, because a lot of the time when you think about an illusion act, person's going to get in a box, person's going to vanish, person's going to reappear, you know, whatever it may be. You know, there's lots of different versions of what we saw on this performance from Brinol and Young. Bump in the Night, which is a classic stage illusion if you know your illusion acts. Bump in the Night is a great example of something where this type of transposition happens. But you've got that big box that everything's working from, right? What I love here is that everything makes sense. First of all, they pick a movie, you know, and they end up with Harry Potter. Then they make the entire band appear on stage, which is just an incredible moment. Then the music starts playing, and it's the Harry Potter music, and everyone's aware of it. And then they have those predictions that they wheel on from the sides, and you've got those iconic Harry Potter glasses, which is really cool. But then that's all the cover for then doing that amazing transposition where, you know, Brinol just vanishes and appears right there with, it feels like no cover. Obviously there is a bit of cover, but it feels like no cover. It just feels like they appear. And at the same time, Harry Potter just appears on stage. You know, it's so well thought out. It really is. It's the sort of act that you would probably see enter a magic competition and win a magic competition, because it's just brilliant. It really is. And there's so many magical moments, and everything just makes sense. You know, the right from the selection of the movie through to the production of the people on stage playing the Harry Potter music, everything. It's just brilliant. I remember watching this live when I was watching Britain's Got Talent, because I love Britain's Got Talent, as you know, and just rewinding it and watching it again and again and again, not to try and figure it out, because I you know, that wasn't the thing. I already kind of knew what was going on, but watching it again and again and again, just to appreciate how amazing this routine was and how amazing the structure of the routine is. And if there's one thing you're going to see on these 3 videos that I'm actually talking to you about right now, if there's one thing you're going to see as a recurring kind of narrative, it's the structure of the act as a whole. And a lot of people say to me, how do you put together a winning competition act? Well, a lot of the time it's structure. It's having a clearly defined logical narrative that's running from beginning through to end. That is a lot of the time how you win a competition, not by presenting a bunch of disjointed effects, but by having a clear narrative that runs from beginning to end. And this effect has it in spades and then some. And then that brings us to the finale, the final trick, what I consider to be the best stage performance of all time. And it's not just me who thinks that. This is a man that's won FISM and is considered one of the greatest stage performers of all time. And if you haven't seen this act, buckle up. This act is amazing, because I'm now going to present to you Soma's phone act.
Hello?
Hi, Steve.
Hey, sweetie. What's going on?
I just got my nails done.
Hello?
Absolutely.
Sweetie. Hello?
Check them out.
to the ultimate hotline where all your dreams can come true.
Hello?
Hi, honey.
Hey, sweetie, what's up?
How are you doing?
Good. Listen, Could you hold on for 1 second? Hello?
Hi there, it's Mike.
Hey, Mike. Listen, I'm on the other line with Susan right now.
Listen, we need you in the office.
Uh-huh. Sweetie, I'm gonna have to call you. Hold on for 1 second. Hello?
Hi, I'm calling from BD International and would like to ask you a couple of questions.
Thank you, but not interested.
Soma, are you there?
So that's the phone act. If you've never seen the phone act, there is so much to love. First of all, the structure of the routine, right? I'm not going to narrate the routine for you, you've just seen it. So first of all, the structure of the routine, it all makes sense. It's all based around making a phone call. So everything that happens, the productions of the phones, the productions of the coins to make the phone call, the production of the phone from the from the clothing to make the phone call, absolutely everything all makes logical sense, right down to the props that are on stage. You know, a lot of people, when they do manipulation acts, they have a little table. He's got a phone, he's got a pay phone that he's using as, in essence, what the table would normally use for a manipulation act. Everything has been themed to really drive home that one point. The structure of this is absolutely brilliant. Second of all, you've got the you've got the fact that the act comes full circle, and what I mean by that is you start off with the briefcase, coming out with the briefcase, and you finish with the newspaper, and you finish off with the newspaper reappearing and the briefcase following him off stage. It just completely goes full circle. You forget about the newspaper, and then boom, at the end, the newspaper reappears. That's great. Also, and I think the most important point is there are so many magical moments in this act that make you sit up and go, what? Like stuff like the briefcase following him off stage at the end. The moment like when the hand comes out the case and slams it shut. The moment where, well, obviously you've got that iconic moment where you're doing the torn and restored newspaper. I think this is one of the most magical things I've ever seen. You're doing the torn and restored newspaper, the piece falls down, and then you've got that reverse time thing where the piece jumps back into the hand. Soma's using the lean to create that wonderful illusion of going back in time. I think that's just brilliant. I think that is absolutely brilliant. And I think that if you want to win a competition, or if you want to put an act together that's just going to blow everyone away, I think it's important to think about all of those magical moments. And there are so many magical moments. And from a competition winning act, this has everything. There's displays of incredible skill, like a lot of the manipulation. I mean, look at how he's doing 4-coin roll downs in both hands at the same time. And he's doing it to the music. And that's the other point that you want to think about this as well, the musicality of this. Look at the music and how the music is actually tied into the performance. This act has been rehearsed, rehearsed, and rehearsed again. And then there's lots of little moments, like when some of the vanishes are happening. There's the smoke, and there's the thing where the phone's up there and just vanishes. There's so many. You could literally watch this act 1,000,000 times and pick hundreds of moments out of it and go, that's incredible, that's incredible, that's incredible. And you want to put an incredible stage act together. You want to put a stage act together that would win a competition, that would make you sit up and make people sit up and pay attention and pay notice. You want to become famous within the magic community. How do you do it? Well, you put together an act like this where there are so many incredible moments that you just watch and you just go, wow. And that's what I love about Soma's phone act. I really do. I think that it's extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. And it's my favorite stage act of all time. It's why it's #1 on this list. So there you go. That's my 3 favorite stage acts of all time. I'll probably do this with close-up again, because I know people are going to say, what about Eric Chen? What about, a lot of people like that? I consider them close-up. This is the 3 greatest stage acts of all time. And again, it's only my opinion. I also wanted to present to you acts that you might never have seen before, the acts that you weren't, that had been lost in the mists of time, so that new people who come into magic, a lot of new people gravitate towards close-up magic and not stage magic. So they might not have seen any of these acts. So I'm hoping that people are seeing these for the first time and getting the joy out of watching them as I did the first time I watched them. But if you want to see another video like this, let me know. I could do the my favorite close-up performances of all time. I can revisit stage acts and look at stage acts. I could do manipulation acts. I could do kids show routines. You just let me know in the comments down below, and I'd be more than happy to put that together. And don't forget, you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Now, I'm going to be back again very, very soon with another video, so make sure that you check those out. And don't forget, I'm going to be, if you haven't already done so, please go ahead and join the Netrix. That's www.thenetrix.com. www.thenetrix.com. Go check it out, see what all the fuss is about. But I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.